Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking with another episode of Mechwarrior Online here. In front of me I have the Rifleman Legend Killer, and I know I did a video on the Legend Killer when it first came out, but that loadout was built around a custom loadout that I specifically wanted to take out there on the battlefield, and not a full encompassing perspective of actually how you can utilize this mech from an optimal standpoint, from any kind of player's standpoint. So I wanted to do another video, and not only another video, but I wanted to do an epic round of gameplay with this guy, with a more full encompassing loadout given the quirks, the loadout, you know, the modules, everything that it has to offer. So that's the reason why I wanted to take this specific mech out again for you guys, and it is a very special mech. Apart from, you know, the awesome aesthetically pleasing look of this mech, it really does provide a very unique kind of gameplay style out there on the battlefield. And as opposed to, you know, you guys constantly seeing me out there in a brawly kind of situation, this is more of a support mech. And don't get me wrong, you probably will get into brawly situations with this mech, and especially given the quirks, you'll completely understand how you can not only play a support role, but even in a brawl, you have a greater chance of success. So let's first look at the loadout and everything really quick, and we're going to dive into this epic round of gameplay right after. So first, let's look at the hard points and the quirks. 4 ballistic, 4 energy, and 1 AMS. Nothing else, no missile or ECM. Now, the quirks are pretty great, considering the fact that this mech was built for a purpose. Back in the lore, it was an anti-aircraft mech, and that was the reason why, you know, they placed the kind of loadout that they are hoping that you cater to in building it here in Mechwarrior Online. So let's look at them real quick. LB10X spread reduction, 10%. LB10X cooldown, 10%. Laser duration, 10%. Energy heat generation, 5%. Energy cooldown, 10%. Ballistic cooldown, 15%. And then the rest is all structure bonus. So if you use the LB10Xs, you're going to get a 25% cooldown. And then I also placed the LB10X cooldown module on there, which provides me with another, what is it, 12%, I believe? Yeah, another 12%. So that's a 37% cooldown reduction if I use LB10Xs. Now, accompanied with those LB10Xs, you have 4 medium lasers, and I decided to go with those because the energy cooldown of 10%, energy heat generation of 5%, and laser duration of 10%, those all work pretty well with you know, this kind of ballistic weapon. So if we look at the loadout in particular that I placed on it, I did place the 2 LB10Xs here, and then I coupled it with 4 medium lasers. I have an XL290 in there. Now that is the biggest engine that you could possibly place in this mech. And from an XL standpoint, obviously that freed up a lot more space, a lot more tonnage, so that I could fit, you know, more of the loadout that I wanted to play with. So with that being said, this mech is completely mastered, just as it was the first time I took it out there on the battlefield. So it does have speed tweak and everything. It goes 84 kph. All 60 tons are being utilized. 66 out of 78 slots are being utilized. And the only places that I took armor off are 7 points out of each leg. Again, because you know, with any kind of heavy mech, the legs are not the primary component that your opponent is focusing on, you know, when they're trying to cripple you out there on the battlefield. And then 4 armor points out of the head. So it does have some pretty, it might look a little thinner in comparison to, you know, the Jaeger and some of the other heavies that you could take out there. Primarily, I said the Jaeger because this is the one that resembles the Jaeger the most. So it might be a little thinner, but it is a lot more nimble, and especially with an XL290 in there. I do have to be careful of my torsos. That's why I placed the maximum amount of armor that I could possibly place in there, and the maximum amount of armor in each arm. So that way I know that if these components are being targeted, at least they have a little bit longer of a duration period to actually last out there on the battlefield without having to worry of, you know, blowing something off, losing any components, dying from you losing a torso or anything like that. So again, this is a full encompassing kind of loadout. This mech was meant to take out there on the battlefield, and I've been having a lot of fun with the LB10Xs, but I wanted to take this particular loadout on there out on the battlefield because I kind of wanted to come out of the comfort zone of just sticking with brawly kind of loadouts, a brawly kind of build with a brawly kind of, you know, modules and everything to kind of accompany it. So with that being said, I placed 3 tons of ammo on there, so I do get 60 shots with the LB-10Xs, and then coupled with those 4 medium lasers, I'm boasting a 1.24 heat management ratio, so it is above the minimum threshold that I like to keep. Has 11 double heat sinks, 10 in the engine, and then 1 extra on top of the engine. 40-point alpha, 84.2 kph to boot. And this thing has, you know, all the bells and whistles with all of the, you know, hero mechs. That's really where I like to start by putting on, you know, filling out all the modules and everything, because they're very unique mechs. And if you can capitalize on what you should be doing with them out there on the battlefield, you'll see that the result is very rewarding. So with that being said, modules that I placed on there: radar deprivation, so I'm instantly hidden in case I get targeted. Even in a support role, that can be the case because of the fact that they realize you are specifically there to amplify the damage that the front line is doing. And again, the front line is usually tankier, beefier mechs that are probably sustaining a lot of DPS and are probably receiving a lot of damage as well. So they might look for a secondary target. That's the reason why I decided to go with radar deprivation. You know that the modules for the weapons are the LB-10Xs. I strictly wanted to stick with those because I know that the quirk summary list specifically addressed that weapon. So I went with the LB-10X range, so that gives me a 10% range boost, and then the LB-10X cooldown. So I get a 37% cooldown, again, you know, by using these LB-10Xs. Target info gathering. I decided to go with that as opposed to seismic sensor because of the fact that I realized if I'm going to take this mech out there on the battlefield, I'm going to be sticking with the bulk of our group. I'm not really going to stray too far away, you know, or intentionally. I'm not intentionally going to do that. I'm going to stick primarily in the bulk of the group, help them out, again, amplify that damage. And if there's anyone that comes relatively close to me, then they're coming close to the rest of the group and they're probably going to get killed. So that's the reason why I decided to stick with these two. Not really going off on my own or not doing much of a sniper position either. So advanced seismic, not necessary in this scenario. And then I also wanted to couple it with my 2 consumables of a cool shot 9x9 and an improved airstrike. So this thing is completely loaded to the T, and it looks pretty awesome. Custom paint I left on there, black and red with that graphic here with the mouth is pretty awesome. And I am absolutely in love with not only this mech, but this new loadout. Hopefully you guys see it from that perspective, but let's hop out there onto the battlefield now and get 1 round of epic gameplay for you guys now with the full encompassing perspective of the Legend Killer. Here we go. So here we go, guys. Our first and only round is going to take place on my favorite map in Mechwarrior Online. This is HPG Manifold, and we are starting off on, you know, in the Bravo Lance, which happens to be all the way on the left side of the map. So we're going to make our way towards the middle. We are playing Domination Game Mode, so we are going to group up with everyone. But we do have this flank position from the start, so just going to peer over to the left real quick, make sure that there's no one coming out of that side too fast that we need to be aware of, and relay that information to our team. And again, we do want to get inside the circle, hold it for a little bit, make sure that we at least have 1 or 2 mechs inside there. And one thing I did want to mention is the positioning of my loadout. So those medium lasers, they are pretty high mounts, and the LB-10Xs are also very high, almost cockpit level. So, you know, if you can see it, you can shoot it. So that's really where the appeal comes from, especially when landing your shots on enemy mechs, is you know that if it's in your line of sight, you're going to be able to hit it. So, going to peer around the side here, see where the rest of the team is, and as we can see, there are a couple mechs that we have up here, some of our friends. Gonna get some shots down on these guys. That Jenner, that Jenner's gonna go down pretty quickly, so we helped out on him. And it looks like we have some more movers around here. Yeah, we're gonna get peppered with some PPCs. Figures there's someone out there on the back line there, up on maybe one of the platforms that got some shots down on us. And now we're just gonna move up with the rest of the team here. It looks like they're gonna start making a couple aggressive moves here. Moving in on this Mauler now. Just get some shots down on him, amplify that damage with the rest of the team moving in. Oh, and we got the kill. Excellent, excellent work. Thank God we had the rest of the team. And it looks like we're making a push down here. And it looks like they have some mechs that are making a push down here as well. So we're going to have to help out as best we can. We already have mechs engaging on these guys, so we're just going to be putting down some extra damage. These LB-10Xs are just firing off, destroying some components, even on the Kodiak here. He's running away. He does not like that constant rate of fire. And we helped out on him. Now we're going to turn around here. We have, what is this, a Zeus? Yeah, we have a Zeus that is engaging with a Timberwolf. And we have our Kodiak friend to beat, and he's got a face plant on me. So we're going to keep down with the rate of fire. Excellent, excellent job bringing him down. So now we have a very, very solid advantage. Have a couple mechs that are trying to engage with us down here. And we're just going to constantly, send back some fire their way to keep them out of the basement. We do have another mech here, a Timberwolf, a gold Timberwolf. Ah, you know how I feel about that. Flaunting it. Yeah, and we got the kill on him. That is, I think that's the first time I've ever killed or been the kill shot on a gold mech, so I'm definitely going to pocket that one. So far, so good with, keeping our team in the lead here. Gonna make our way on this Stormcrow. He's not liking the constant rate of fire that we have in supporting our friends on the front lines here. He's gonna run away, and he's down to only 47% health. We're gonna turn the corner here. Just keep an eye out because we don't want to get, pinged from the back or anything. I'm guessing that was him that got taken out right there. So we're gonna move up into a more beneficial position on their side of the map. I think there are a couple of them remaining, and we do, yep, there's one right over here next to us, so we're going to lay down some fire on him, and clearly he is not enjoying what he is facing right now, just constantly barraging him with those pellets. There we, oh, and we got the kill on him as well. Unreal. And that was a Kodiak too, so we know that he's got a little bit more bulky, tanky armor to deal with. But all we have left are our medium lasers, which makes me wonder, maybe I can modify my loadout even more to accompany more ammo with these LB-10s, since that seems to be my favorite weapon to take out with this loadout, in firing off these mediums and the LB-10s. Just going to constantly put down some laser fire on this Cicada, help out the rest of the team amplify that damage, because he doesn't look like he knows where he's going. He's running into everything. He's just trying to get it. He's kind of engaging, but he's kind of trying to get away as well. And we're just going to keep firing as much as we possibly can on him before we, reach that heat threshold. And yeah, he's going to dip under, it looks like. Nope. Yep, wait, there he goes. And I bet whoever's down here is going to get the kill on him, if I had to guess. And we're just going to peer around on the outside a little bit. Get some extra shots in if we can. Yeah, and there's someone hiding over here in the corner. Is that the... No, that's a Mad Dog. And here... Yeah, there's the Cicada. Okay, there he goes. And that's going to end the round. Wow. Unreal. Legend Killer. Lives up to the name, ladies and gents. Definitely a great round. 3 kills, 7 assists, 851 damage, 2 times doing the most damage. But more importantly, we helped out the team in the role that we meant to play out there on the battlefield. And as you can see, topping the leaderboards with the damage. But that's not the only important thing. You have to play your role out on the battlefield that you intend to play, and that's exactly what I meant to do with this mech. So that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, guys. Well, guys, I just had too much fun with that last round of gameplay, and I wanted to mess around with this mech even more. So why not? Why not get a bonus round of epic gameplay with the Legend Killer? After all, although it's the Legend Killer, it is a legend in and of itself. And I'm having an absolute blast with this particular loadout. So if you guys are enjoying this video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And get ready for another round of epic gameplay with this absolute monster of a heavy mech that's seemingly underrated out there on the battlefield. I'm just having so much fun firing off these LB-10s and then accompanying it with these 4 mediums. We're going to check out the basement first because that seems to be where a lot of opponents like to meet up and at least scout first. And then we're going to meet up with the rest of our team. Now that we've cleared the tunnel for now, we can, you know, sit back with our team. Again, just make sure that nothing is really coming towards us that we need to alert the rest of our team about. And we're going to take a position up behind the mountain. This seems to be a common ground for us and for any kind of team really on Crimson Strait where they take their positions. And we are playing Conquest, so we do have to take into consideration all of the bases because we want to make sure that we don't get out-capped and, you know, obviously have the damage and everything else in our favor and then lose it. Fire off some LB-10 fire from a distance. They have an LRM lock on us, it seems.
Incoming missile.
Get some fire down on that King Crab. I think he's probably going to retreat back into cover with the rest of his team. And I feel like, did they pop a UAV on us? I'm unsure how they're getting these LRM locks. They must have something. I'm going to keep an eye out just in case I do get locked onto, even when I'm behind this hill. Maybe take another. Yeah, we're getting locked. So either they're seeing me from either the island out there, or they have a UAV, and I believe they have a UAV at this point. I'm gonna say they have a UAV because you can't even see me from the island at most points from that position. So we're gonna keep. Yeah, they still have missiles firing. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so there was a UAV up there. Well positioned. It was completely over my head. I couldn't see it. I was trying to back up and get it down, but. Well played by them.
I'm by myself here, guys.
Okay, so we have 3 enemy mechs to our left. Oh, King Crab, and he's right in front of my face. Okay, pop back down, but we got a couple shots off on him to the dome. We still have some other mechs over here. Let's drop this airstrike in the middle of these guys. There we go. They're not gonna like that. We might get. Okay, we actually avoided all those LRMs, which is fantastic.
But we're charging.
And yeah, we're going to help out down low because it looks like we're making a little bit of a push. They have some mechs down here, and we're just going to constantly berate them with LB-10X ammo.
So is Alpha. Alpha's in the open.
Oh, man. I'm trying to get some shots off here. And the Victor's coming right in front of our face. Oh, huge shot right there. Excellent, excellent critical shot there to some critical components. Got him down. And now this Mauler. Oh my god, a double kill. Woo! Man, this thing is just relentless with that cooldown. 37% on the LB-10Xs. Now this Marauder looks like he's going to try and get some FaceTime with me, and we're not going to let that happen. He's backing up, and we're going to retreat a little bit. Stay with the rest of the team for now. We're getting some fire from on top, on the roof, on the platform here. We just have to keep that in mind. Let's just keep aware of our surroundings. We are still amongst the rest of the team playing that support role.
That building in front of you and get that guy.
And that Griffin is going to hide. Let's see what's that Marauder still. Oh, and he's not paying attention. He's not paying attention at all. And he is going to suffer the consequence because I am not going to back up. He's stuck in the middle. Yes! Excellent, excellent kill. He is stuck in the middle of that ramp. Terrible, terrible position to stay in. Definitely a mistake. Now we're going to help out on this King Crab. It looks like everyone is filing in on him, and he's going to go down pretty quick. And now we're going to move in on the rest of their team. This Timberwolf with the Lerm loadout. Yeah, he's not going to get much off, and we're just going to constantly keep firing these LB-10Xs into him. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. We're just severing component. There he goes. Help with the rest of the team. I am narked. Not really sure where that came from. Probably this Panther, if I have to guess. Yes, that was the Panther. Okay. And I'm going to overheat. Face tanking. Almost a one shot of LB-10X left. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there we go. We made it hit at least. And this Panther's going to go down pretty quick. There he goes. Only have a couple enemies left, if I can presume that. But we're going to make our way up this ramp with the Blackjack. He's going to put down some initial fire with those medium pulses. And we're just going to follow up on this Griffin. Not only on the Griffin, but we have this Mad Dog who's kind of out in the open. He's the only one that's not really hidden behind too much structure. So we're going to keep our focus fire on him. Looks like the rest of the team is going to help us. Yep, there he goes. And that is the end of the round. Another epic round of gameplay with the Legend Killer. Had an absolute blast. Oh man, if you guys have the opportunity, definitely pick up this guy. It is an absolute fantastic mech. 3 kills, 6 assists, 4 times doing the most damage, 927 damage, while keeping the role that we intended to play out there on the battlefield. That is the main thing, apart from, you know, the damage, kill, and assist score. Excellent round of gameplay, had an absolute blast. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Mechwarrior Online. Hit that like button, leave a comment in the section below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, guys.